What's up, everyone out there? Hope you had a wonderful weekend. Welcome back to Cork Stats on this Manic Monday here at the Mayo Media Network on YouTube with your host, John Laghezza, the big dude with the big mouth from the Big Apple. That's Big Johnny Stud coming to you worldwide from Brooklyn, New York. As always, thank you so much for the support and the feedback so far. This brand new baseball show, Monday through Friday, every single day, doing it all. Jock Market and Daily. Everything fantasy related, plus a bet of the day every single day, and it's all brought to you by Jock Market, the best daily app right now anywhere. You can see the graphic up in the corner. Sign up now. The download is free. If it's free, it's for me, and they're going to match you the first $100 with the code MMN. That's for Mayo Media Net, and we are not just blowing smoke at you people. I am the real deal, and it's generally why people end up gravitating towards me, because I am the man in the arena. I never give advice I don't take myself. I don't talk about games that I don't play myself, and I am the walking testament to the success in the jock market that we've had here at Mayo Media Net. A year ago, I took the same $20 free promo available to anybody. We're up over 17,000%, over $3,400. Yesterday was another top 5 finish in the jock market, and I'm going to show you why. The word of the day is tools, everybody. Here at the Mayo Media Net, Pat Mayo has given me the platform to give you the most immersive baseball experience anywhere on the web, and it begins here, the first inning, at Fantasy Baseball Picks and Bets, Cork Stats, powered by the Mayo Media Net. But you got to follow along the Twitter handle as well, MLB Moving Averages at MLB Moving AVG. Let's get up into the jock market. You see here yesterday, somebody named me tweeted jock market plays and home run calls for Sunday. Luis Robert, Andrew Vaughn, Jose Abreu, Carlson, Buxton, Polanco, J. Ram, Franmil. Let's hop on over to the right side. I know we have audio-only listeners. Thank you for subscribing to the podcast. On the right side, you'll see my graphic from the jock market. I had shares of Jose Ramirez, Andrew Vaughn, Jose Abreu, Byron Buxton. Stop me when this sounds familiar. Luis Robert, and I finished in the top 5 using exactly the plays that I give you here. So today, let's do a little bit more of that. Let's get keep the good times rolling. The reason why Jock Market is so much better than DraftKings, people, is because if a quarter of your lineup is good, you're going to make money. What happens in DraftKings or FanDuel or DFS if a quarter of your lineup is not any good? Even if you have the best player in the field, it's probably a big fat zero. Well, not in Jock Market. The best way to do it, at least early in the day, we know lineups and matchups can change. So again, this is just the beginning. We're laying the foundation. I like to target handed splits and then go from there. You saw I had White Sox righties, and we had today's example is we were looking for right-handed Mariners against Dylan Bundy. We're looking for home runs. Give me Mitch Haniger. Give me Ty France. We're looking for Brewer righties against Bruce Zimmerman on the Orioles. This one is a little funny again. This is why I like to do this work so much, because sometimes we're looking beyond the projected lineups. I have Keston Hiura and Tyrone Taylor circled today if they're in the lineup. And if they're in the lineup, they're probably going off cheap. We are going to get them for $3.50 or below. They're going to have a chance to triple up, quadruple up, quintuple up, and we'll keep the train rolling. I have one more set. We're going to be looking for Tampa Bay Ray righties against Paul Blackburn, Brandon Lau, Francisco Mejia in particular. So that is just exactly how we're going to go with the jock market. Every day you tune in here, I'm going to lay out a couple handed splits, then just tune in to the Twitter handle as lineups come out and we settle in, and you can get at me. We'll actually go over prices and stuff like that. I'm not keeping anything behind the curtain here. So Jock Market is the way to get it. We're grinding it every single day. Hit up the app. MMN is the code. Get the $100 free. And win. If it's free, it's for me. We are just making cash every single day in Jock Market, and I'm showing you how. It's not, I do it. I don't kind of show you what I'm doing. I don't show you my work. I show you my work. My whiteboard is out in the open. My notebook with all the kind of scramblings on it is wide open. So get at me any time of day, any day of the week here at Mayo Media Net, and we're going to get you paid in the Jock Market. Now let's hop over to fantasy, something very near and dear to my heart, and it really means a lot to me that this show and the info within is actionable. And I was kind of racking my brain. What do we do on Monday? Right? Everyone already made their ads. And in the very sharp leagues most of us are in, there aren't many start-sit questions, though. If you do have a start-sit question, get up in the comments. Hit me up on Twitter. The same as always, we're here for you. What I did want to do, I kind of had, right? That brush fire was going yesterday. How can I create something that's really useful for everybody, regardless of league, regardless of format? And I came up with this. So I built like a little starting pitcher matrix, let's say, and I think maybe that'll help us get through it. So we'll go through the league, maybe highlight some 2-starters, and maybe some trapdoors. Let's just do it as fast as we can. Arizona Diamondbacks have 5 games, really nothing of note there. The Braves have 7 games, so you want to be looking at Inoue is going to go twice. He is a must start. Then Baltimore Orioles. Let's just go right down the line. We have Zimmerman today. He's going to go twice, but he's got the Yankees, so I don't think I'd really want to stream him, though I do kind of like Bruce Zimmerman. He is the kind of guy the public will not be on because he's an Oriole and they're kind of boring, but if he's got the ground balls going and not giving up home runs, maybe we look to add Zimmerman in the future as a streamer. Boston Red Sox has Detroit and Minnesota. Going to be pretty tough week for them, right? That used to be teams that were kind of easy. Maybe not anymore. They've got Waka going twice. With the matchups, I'm really not feeling Michael Wacha. I think I'm willing to take the loss on that one. Chicago Cubs have Pittsburgh and Colorado. Expect them to keep the heat rolling. White Sox only 6 games this week against Seattle. And the Rays, that back-end series should be really, really good. They've got Vince Velasquez going twice. Man, I could see him maybe giving you 4 1/3, maybe 2 times, maybe he goes 5 the second time. Seattle and Tampa not really raking. Maybe you could get away starting Velasquez in a pinch. Cincinnati Reds have Molly going twice. You're queuing him up. Guardians have 6 games this week. Savali going twice against KC and San Francisco. You got to get with him. Colorado, 6 games. I'm not really looking to get with Austin Gomber. He had been okay, but the way the Cubs are hitting and the way Texas is hitting, especially against Toronto, no thanks. Detroit has a full slate. They'll get Matt Manning twice against Boston and KC. I'm passing there. Houston 5 games, business as usual. Kansas City goes 7 times. Now, this is something I noticed. FP had a wrong listing here. Carlos Hernandez is going to go twice. Some sites have Zach Greinke listed 2 times. That's not the case. I have Daniel Lynch going twice. If you have free agency, I would add Daniel Lynch immediately. Also, if Carlos Hernandez is out there, he's a player I covered in the offseason. I like both of those guys going forward. The Angels have the Marlins and the Rangers. Lorenzen going twice. I'm off of that. Dodgers, 6 times business as usual. You may see Haney twice, not interested there. Marlins have 6 games. Eliezer Hernandez on the schedule twice against the Angels and the Phillies. Now, I've liked him in the past, but he did have some home run issues last year, home run issues against the Angels and the Phillies. Not going to fly. I think I'd probably wait and see what we get first. Milwaukee has a full slate against Baltimore and St. Louis. Hauser going twice. Thanks, but no thank you there. I know we might get some ground balls, but he does have Baltimore and St. Louis. The way St. Louis swinging the bats and also Baltimore, yeah, the pitching is not good. The hitting is not bad. Minnesota, 6 games. It's the Dodgers and Boston. No thank you at all. Bundy going twice. I'd be sitting him if I could. Mets, 6 games. Taijuan Walker going twice against the Phillies and the Diamondbacks. I think you could probably start him there. You're going to have to hold your nose and cross your fingers against the Phillies, but I think he's in line for a very good start against the D-backs. Yankees have Toronto and then Baltimore. I am not starting anybody against Toronto. Oakland, 7 games against the Rays and the Bluebirds. Again, no thank you. Blackburn going twice. He's going to be in trouble against the Blue Jays. Phillies have a full slate. Miami and New York. Ranger Suarez, my boy, starting twice. I think you can get with him. Also, Zach Wheeler in line to start Tuesday. Everybody get him in those lineups. The Mets have been good, but if you drafted Wheeler in the second round, you got to stick with Zach Wheeler. Let's finish this up. Phillies, full slate. Like I said, Suarez going twice. Sorry, Pittsburgh Pirates have St. Louis, Chicago, and Washington. Zach Thompson going twice against the Cardinals and the Nats. I would start Zach Thompson, believe it or not, even though he plays for the black and yellow. San Diego Padres, full slate. Nick Martinez going twice. San Francisco and Atlanta, I would pass. The Giants, 6 games. Alex Wood going twice against the Padres and the Guardians. Give me that one for sure. Mariners, all week playing. Houston on the back end, so I'm skipping flexing. Next up, St. Louis with a full week there, but the matchups are pretty good. Dakota Hudson, I've been hot and cold on Hudson, but he does have Pittsburgh and the Brewers. I'm looking for the Brewers to bounce back, but we don't know when it'll happen. So I think Dakota Hudson is actually a viable stream. Tampa Bay, 7 games against Oakland, and the White Sox, Luis Patino going twice. Man, I do like Patino, but the White Sox matchup is a really tough one. Oakland can be pretty soft. That one I think depends on the rest of your roster. I really don't like going up against those White Sox, but Oakland pretty juicy. All right, let's wrap it up. Texas Rangers, 6 games. Colorado and the Angels. We're seeing Taylor Hearn going twice for the Rangers, thanks, but no thanks. Toronto Blue Jays full week against the Yankees and the A's. I mean, listen, if you have Alek Manoah, he's one of my favorite young pitchers in the league. It's hard not to start him, but it is very hard to go up against the Yankees. I almost don't care who it is. I generally fade that one like the plague. Last but not least, Washington going 7 times up against Atlanta and Pittsburgh. I know it sounds good, but it's Anibal Sanchez going 2 times. I don't want that at all, and that will do it for the league wrap-up and all your starting pitching matrix. How was that from the one-man band? There is nothing like that anywhere. If you liked it, didn't like it, let us know. I really hope that was just a chunk. That was a 5-minute chunk, a total blitz to get you ready for the upcoming week. I know it's very hard for people to do the look ahead, all the 2-week starters and the opponents with the matchups at the same time. That's what we're here for at the Mayo Media Network. Remember, context and nuance at the center of success. The immersive experience being the goal. So I got to stop for a second to just thank you all again for the feedback, the support. Let's finish this one up strong. We covered daily, we covered Jock Market, but you're going to stick along to the Twitter handle. We went over fantasy and all your matchups. If you have starting sits, hit me up. Let's round third and score the rock, everyone. Now, we got to do a best bet of the day. It's been a bit of an up and down so far. Like I wear these things firmly on my sleeve. I'm on the borderline of not caring. I mean, I don't want to sound like I don't care about winning. I do. But you can't care too much about winning in the first weekend. Like, where would that leave you emotionally if you're really high and low, and maybe even more so if I could put a bit of theory on this? You really should be risking very, very little. Whatever you risk during the season, you should not be risking that yet. Baseball is a data-based game, data-based handicapping, and although we have to be careful with recent stats, I do believe teams and players move in waves, and the data will tell us where in the wave they are. Chicago Cubs, they're at the top part of a wave. Milwaukee Brewers at the bottom part of a wave. Now, while we expect them both to correct, it's good to know where in that sine wave we think they are to try and get in front of the trend indications. Simple as that. So I don't want to make it sound like I'm overweighing the last 3 or 7 days, but in reality, how much are last year's stats really worth with a couple of months off, changes, training, coaching, and the like? So let's hop up on the betting board. Again, just one last thing right now, because I really like to give actionable information. I am a professional. It is my job to make you better and smarter outside of entertaining you. I hope you're entertaining and you like this, but I really hope there are people out there that listen that don't like me because the information is just that good. So when we talk about units, a unit from me, myself at least, equals 1%. I also have a daily allotted risk limit at 2.5%, so I'll never risk more than 2.5 units. Anybody doing that, if you ask me, is doing it wrong. They're either trying to trick you using a nebulous definition, or they're going to allow that unit count to go over 100, in which case, if you're down 100 units, in my world, 100%, you're out of business, you're closing up shop, you're packing your stuff into one of those little bags on a stick, and you could take your wife and kids and go march along the railroads, and that's not what I'm about. We are into strict risk management, avoiding the road to ruin, and that is why we are playing smart, we are playing slow, and we are gathering data. Now let's dive into the play of the day. I know I got the pinstripes on, but I make my money going up against the Yankees. Don't know how you could bet against my boy Alek Manoah and the Bluebirds going into the Bronx against Jameson Taillon, who has been okay, especially in New York. And I know the Yankees looked good against Boston, but they did not face Alek Manoah. He is ridiculously good. The Blue Jays have not only the pitching edge, but also the offensive edge here. Yankees looking alive, but the batting average not there. They've just hit a couple of ding-dongs. Manoah, I think, will limit that. I think the Blue Jays get it done. They're going off at even money. If you can get the Blue Jays this year with Manoah on the bump, at even money, you almost take it blind. If I can expand just a little bit, and if you're familiar to my work, then you know I'm generally into F5 betting. I like to bet on the first five, remove the variables of the bullpen. I'm also not looking for a 3-hour emotional roller coaster. It's the second time I've mentioned emotion, and the emotional capital is as important as financial capital. When you are tired, when you are stressed, when you feel beat down, you're more likely to make an unforced error. Again, back to the discipline. And all of these kind of intertwined, interwoven strategies that we must deploy simultaneously, that will make us successful. Notice, half or 2/3 of the strategy has nothing to do with baseball statistics. I understand the stats, I know how to apply them, but it's all of the other things that keeps me at the front of the line, on the tip of the spear, and making money in the arena every day for you. So give me the Blue Jays F5 today for sure. I think I might actually tack on another one. If you've noticed, also I'm responding to the feedback and trying to focus on the 7 p.m. stuff. One last time, I'll repeat it for the people in the back. If you have a question about gains earlier in the day, I am really not covering them on the show as far as bets, because people listen on the way home from work. They run to place a bet in a game that's already happened. That's not a lot of fun. For the people that do listen early, hit me up and I will post the answer. We'll get it out to everybody again. There's the community kind of thinking along those lines. We want a culture of fishermen and fisherwomen. What am I talking about? Well, if you teach someone to fish, if you feed them, give them a fish, they eat for a day. And if you teach them to fish, they fish for a lifetime. Teach enough people to fish in a way that they can teach people to fish. And you'll have a culture of fishermen. And you'll probably be spending more time with your feet up than with a pole in the water. And that's how I like to rock and roll. So give me Toronto. But I think I also like Seattle here today. If you, again, follow my work, you know Seattle's a team that I really like. Chris Flexen against Dylan Bundy is the ultimate in narrative play. People looking for Dylan Bundy and the strikeouts. I still see the home run machine. I see Chris Flexen as the ground ball machine. I think Minnesota is good, but not great. I also think they're predicated on power, which Flexen is known to reduce. I think Seattle has the far superior bullpen, so I think you could safely bet them for 9 innings. But even with the bullpen edge, I still prefer F5s. I like my push on a tie, right? That's the case, everyone. If you're unfamiliar to F5 betting, if you bet F5 and you tie, it's a push. You get your money back. In general, when I'm betting favorites especially, I want to be ahead after 5 innings. I want my money back if I'm not. So that's kind of a pretty great deal right there. With underdogs, especially ones that have the bullpen edge, I do understand if you want the 9 innings, by all means, go get that. So give us Toronto, give us the Mariners, and that'll do it for the show today here at Cork Stats, powered by Mayo Media Net, presented by Jock Market. Download the app. MMN is the code. And let me just lay it out one more time. The word of the day is tools, and that's what you're getting when you roll with the big dog. Check this out. I put on a clinic yesterday to give people an idea of what they can expect every single day. This is all work that used to be behind paywalls, right now is not. So the dinner bell is ringing. Come and get it. The day starts every day. I'm putting up a starting pitcher matrix, all the advanced stats that you could want, all very neat and very clean. Stats from 4 or 5 different sites, all in one place, can't be found anywhere else. Later on in the day, I run the algo, I score every game, I put notes, and run my bets. Now that is up on Patreon, but don't freak out, it is 100% free. I'm not trying to shill anything. There is a tip the dealer button. If you got it, whatever you want, whatever you can afford, go ahead. This is not about making cash. This is about Mayo Media Net taking you to the next level. So you can get your starting pitcher matrix to do the work on your own. I will post bets later on in the afternoon. We will post the stack tool. I will post starting pitcher rankings. I will post implied team totals, and then the individual jock market plays. I mean, all that and the bag of chips. So make sure you rate, review, and subscribe. Like the video. Get up in the comments. Tell Patty Mayo how good of a job Johnny Boy is doing. Thank you all so much. Please don't be shy. I want you to respond. Your opinion means a lot to me. This show is nothing without you. It's just a fat guy screaming at a computer. All right, so that'll do it, people. For the second time, let's get out of here, yo. Enjoy the games. Enjoy your day. When we're done with the book, enjoy that pay, everybody. Remember, when you work this hard, it feels a lot less like luck. I catch you all on the flip side, yo. Peace.